Hey, good morning. This is Tonetta. Of course, I'm your relationship coach and speaker. This morning, I'm coming to talk to you all about something. Well, I guess it ties in. It's still dealing with relationships, but the relationship with yourself. The title of this video is about telling yourself the truth. I was thinking about this actually last night and this morning as well, and just thinking about some of the things that's been going on over the years with me and others I've seen, whether it's people I know personally that I've talked to and dealt with, or people I see online, I guess I put it that way as well, seeing like some of their journeys, seeing some of their story, seeing what's unfolding in their life and those kind of things. Telling yourself the truth, I know that's a lot of people think that is something hard to do. I guess I put it that way. In my mind, I've always thought about telling the truth or just being honest. Of course, that's what anybody would want to see, especially when you're dealing with yourself. You don't have to tell anybody what you're telling yourself the truth about, but just keep in mind that at some point you're going to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being the way that you are, and of whether you're one who gossips a lot, or one who does whatever it is a lot, or one that cheats on people, or one that, of course, is very messy, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, at some point you're going to get tired of being that way, whether it's, of course, with nutrition and stuff like that. Of course, this is this is actually the last Sunday of the first month in the new year of 2021, so it's January 31st. And I know a lot of people make resolutions and all those kind of things, creating goals, all that kind of thing, which is fine and dandy. But I know statistics always tell us and let us know that by the end of this month, or by Valentine's Day, at least 90% of those folks are not even going to be working on their resolutions, working on their goals, working on anything else. I guess I put it that way. And thank you, Jackie, for tuning in. And that just mind boggles me. I read about that every year, and I read about how people, of course, stop doing this and stop doing that. Here comes February, and all those goals and those resolutions that went to the wayside. And I'm in my mind, like I said, I'm thinking about change and thinking about moving forward and those kind of things. How do we expect, of course, if you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to stop being messy or whatever it is, or to stop gossiping, or to stop, I don't know, sleeping around, whatever you're doing in your life? Like I said, at what point are you going to realize that you're the one who has to, of course, make those changes? Nobody's going to make them for you. Not me, not Jackie, not anybody else on this video. Nobody's going to make those kind of changes for you. At what point do you realize that you haven't forgiven yourself in 20, 30, 40 years or whatever it was, or forgiven anybody that's hurt you in the past in order for you to move forward? I know I talk about relationships, of course, being a relationship coach, and of course, and a social worker as well. I've been a social worker way longer than a relationship coach. But like I said, as far as working with all these people, and whether it's a family, whether it's children, whether it's seniors, whether it's young adults, whoever it is, whether they're in a relationship or whether their relationship is being broken up, I guess I put it that way as well. Like I said, there's all kinds of things that we have to think about what's going on in our lives. And like I said, at some point, we have to realize that we have to take control of our own life. I'm 44 years old, and like I said, it took me a while to have myself realize that. I had to realize that in my own life as well, in order to, of course, move forward, in order to stop living in survival mode, in order to, of course, stop blaming everybody for this and that, or this didn't go right because this person did this, or which, granted, yes, some people do, of course. Their energies, different things come into our life and, of course, affect the way that we live sometimes. Yes, I know that, but not blaming every single thing on somebody that you know that you did. Well, not blaming everything on somebody else instead of taking that responsibility of your own. Like I said, there's always, in every situation, every relationship that we have, whether it's an employee, employer, a couple, a man and wife, or a husband, whoever it is, husband and husband, wife and wife, whoever you are, children and parents, mother, father, whoever you are. Like I said, definitely you have to realize at some point that it takes two to tango. And whatever happened in those situations, of course, you had some kind of dealings in that situation at some point as well. Unless there were situations when you were younger, you were a kid, those you really couldn't control. But as an adult, a lot of things that we, of course, inject ourselves into as well. Like I said, we have to at some point take responsibility of that. And like I said last night, this morning, I just woke up thinking about how long is it going to take for, not just for me, but others as well, whoever's listening to this, to, of course, realize that you have to tell yourself the truth at some point. You have to tell yourself the truth about the situation that you're in, the places where you've been, the place where you're at, and the place where you want to go, to put it that way. How will you ever know what you want to work on, what you want to do, if you have not taken chance to deal with the things that's currently going on, and that's happened in the past, that's affecting your now behavior, that's affecting your ability to, of course, move forward, that's, of course, impeding, I guess, putting all these fears and so-called barriers in your life, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, at some point you realize that you're the one who caused all those things. And like I said, this video and me thinking about all those statistics about how, and like I said, I read that every single year actually, how people, of course, they're setting their resolutions, setting their goals, doing all these things. But by the end of January or the mid February, all those things have fallen to the wayside. And like I said, that just saddens me for one as well, to know that a lot of people, of course, out there wanting to change and wanting to, of course, set goals and wanting to set their resolutions and wanting to do something different in their life, but they're still stuck in the same place. Here comes February, here comes March, here comes the next 2022 January, and here they go again, saying they're going to create all these goals and make all these resolutions and do all these things, but then of course they haven't moved forward from the last year's goals or anything else, I guess, to put it that way. Like I said, that definitely saddens me. I see it going on. I mean, I saw it in my own life, to be honest. I saw it in my own life as well growing up. And of course I see it in others that I'm around. I know I see all this potential and all these people and that kind of thing, but of course I know they have to see it within themselves. I know that. But at what point do you start telling yourself the truth about those things? Like I said, I know it took me a while to, of course, get to this point for me to get on these videos, and of course for the last few years, and of course talk to you about my truth and the things that I was going through, certain situations, experiences, and the lessons that I've learned, and of course in order to teach you all and show you all a different way of possibly living your life, being an adult, I guess I put it that way as well. And like I said, definitely I know there's a lot more, of course, a lot of other folks doing the same thing as well. But like I said, at some point, listen to all the videos that you can listen to, reading all the self-help books that you want to read, looking at all the, I don't know what movies, self-help movies or inspirational movies, or joining groups, whether it's a business group or a life group, talking about different things in life, and of course get your hustle on, do all these things. At what point are you going to realize that, of course, you can listen to all those things and do all those things, but at what point are you going to realize that if you don't start taking some small action first, taking some small action towards some type of goal, that you're going to be in the same situation come 2022, January the 1st, and you're talking about this is the New Year's and I'm doing this, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. Like I said, at some point you have to realize that. Like I said, I know that's the hardest truth that anybody would have to face. I can tell you that because I faced that truth as well, as far as telling my own self the truth about whether it's my life or the relationships that I was in, or the job relationships that I was in, or the business relationships I've been in, or the friendships I've had, and the family relationships I've had as well. Like I said, there's only so much that we can do. And I know I posted something, I don't know. It was a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, was talking about how we can only control so much in our lives, how we cannot, of course, we can want to make all these changes, and well, not with ourselves, but of course we see all these things going on in the world, whether it's the protests that's still going on, the police killings, racism, discrimination, sexism. We see all these things going on. And like I said, I know there's a lot going on. There's, of course, the coronavirus going on, all these kind of things. But when I thought about this last year as well, and as far as my life and business and all those kind of things, and looking at it again this year, and like I said, talking to you all about this on this video, it just made me think about, like I said, I know there's all kind of things that's going on, but a lot of those things are beyond your control. Yes, we want to talk about this. We can talk about politics all day, or the coronavirus all day, or whatever it is going on all day, the killings all day. But yes, all those things are very important, and all those things, of course, are shaping our lives. But at what point are you going to realize that while you're talking about these things, you have to talk about yourself and work on yourself as well? Like I said, everything that I've always said, it takes one person to, of course, create change, evoke change within yourself and within your household and those around you. It's going to take a ripple effect. It's not going to be like 15,000. If it is, I mean, that will definitely be awesome. But just keep in mind that it starts with you. Of course, you telling yourself the truth, you being able to, of course, take responsibility for whatever's going on in your life. Folks around you, of course, I know you can't force everybody to change or that kind of thing at all, but once you start making changes within your own life, all those kids, I guess the kids that you have that you were saying that were getting on your nerve and not doing what they're supposed to do and all these kind of things, where do they get those things from? You have to look at those. I guess tell yourself that truth as well. Like I said, they're getting it from somewhere. If you're not taking responsibility of your own life and folks around you are seeing that, that's going to be a ripple effect to them as well. Just keep that in mind. That's something that I noticed in my life once I started to change, and once I started to, of course, tell myself the hard truths, all the things that I did not want to say no to, telling everybody, oh, I'm just a yes girl. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to help this person with this. I'm going to go out here and protest. I'm going to do all these things. Like I said, at some point you realize that you leave yourself out of that equation. Yes, you can help everybody in the whole world, but if you're not helping yourself first, you cannot give from an empty cup or a half full cup. I guess I put it that way. I don't care if it's your love, if it's your time, if it's your energy, whatever it is, if it's your actual actions to help somebody. Like I said, you have to make sure that you, of course, are full within yourself. Like I said, I know there's a lot of things. I know I'm one that has talked about, done many videos and many posts about, like I said, all the protesting and the discrimination and all this stuff going on, being a black woman and being in a black family or whatever it was, and all these issues. Like I said, I think that was last year. I know there was, of course, all those other killings going on, different things that was going on as well. I was angry about that as well. So like I said, at that point, I had to realize, I think it was one of the videos that I talked about, black and white races and different things like that, and all the I guess like my experiences with that, because I did a video with some people as well from the UK talking about racism and discrimination and being a black woman and all those kind of things. Like I said, after that video I don't know when it was. It was a few months ago. But after that video, like I said, I had to realize that regardless of all the things that's going on in the world, if I don't have my stuff together first, I can't affect anything else that's going on. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that went in my whole, I guess, in my life, that of course rippled on over into my business as well, and the relationships that I have with others. Like I said, you have to realize that, and I realized that as well, that once you start getting yourself together, yes, some folks are going to fall off and, oh, you've changed and all these kind of things, but there's going to be some folks, of course, that's going to stick by you, regardless as to if they're on your friends list or if you don't see them posting on your post or whatever it is. You never know who's watching you. I guess I put it that way. I've gotten many, I guess, messages through Messenger on Instagram and Facebook and even on TikTok, actually, about different things I've talked about as far as about life and living and that kind of thing. Like I said, you'd be amazed that when you start to change and start to, of course, like I said, tell yourself these truths and start trying to work on yourself and go through your forgiveness process, go through your healing process and your healing journey, and of course reveal all those lessons that life and God has taught you. Like I said, you'll definitely start a ripple effect. Like I said, there's many folks that will not tell you that they're looking at your videos or even looking at your posts. I guess I tell you that. But like I said, you're affecting people all across the world, I'm sure, and you definitely can do so. I know I've done so, I guess, in some ways as well. And like I said, we have to realize that. I know that once you're changing, once you're, like I said, telling yourself the truth, family, friends, that kind of thing are going to be taken aback by things and wondering what's going on, why you're changing, what's happening. She ain't the same yes girl anymore. He ain't the same yes boy anymore. That's going to be taking me to the store, doing all these things for me, and he's focusing on himself. We teach people how to, of course, respect us. We teach people how to treat us, and we treat people how to, of course, act around us. I guess I put it that way. When we do start working on ourselves, as far as setting our own personal boundaries, our non-negotiables, what we are not going to do. I guess I put it that way as well. And how we care for ourselves. Like I said, people will start noticing that. I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your kids, your husband, your wife, whoever it is, your co-workers, whoever it is, people will start noticing that and wondering, of course, what is she doing? Why is she so happy? Or why is she always smiling? Or why is he always glowing? All those kind of things. Like I said, those are things that's going to happen when you start, like I said, of course, start telling yourself those hard truths in order to, of course, start taking action to move forward. Like I said, there's a lot of things I know that we all go through, that we're all going to continue to go through, I'm sure. But like I said, at some point we have to realize that if we're actually wanting to make some change within our life, that we have to start doing so. And I want to say hello and good morning to you all that's tuning in. Jackie, Rebecca, Stella, and Anne Marie, I hope that you all are doing well. And like I said, as far as telling yourself the truth, like I said, that was definitely some of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. I guess I put it that way. And it's not going to be an easy process. It's not going to be an easy journey at all. I'm just here to tell you that. Like I said, actually, when I really first started was back when I actually left my husband back when I was in my 20s. I was doing soul searching back then. That's what I called it, for several years, that kind of thing. And of course, it didn't hit me again until a few years ago. But about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, when I started looking at myself again, reevaluating where I was, I knew that I was unhappy with certain things in my life, whether that was the job I was at or the business that I was doing, the relationships that I had, whether it was a partner, family, that kind of thing. Like I said, I had to, in my friendship circle, that kind of thing as well. Like I said, I had to start back again and reevaluating those things. And like I said, I know back then I didn't believe in God a lot at all, at all actually, until a few years ago, until I started going on this personal development journey, trying to learn myself more, trying to love myself more, and telling my own self those truths. Like I said, that was when I had no choice but to bring God into my life. I put it that way. And like I said, that's definitely showed me a whole lot. And I know that some people say, oh, that's not the truth, or this is not the truth. Like I said, I'm speaking from my own life, my own point of view, and what I saw and what I went through and that kind of thing. I guess you'd have to go on your own journey, I guess, in order to figure that out for yourself. But like I said, I know how important God was in my life at that time. I didn't realize before then, but now I realize that. And like I said, I realize a whole lot of other things as far as the lessons that I've been taught throughout my life. Like I said, with dealing with my parents, dealing with other family and friends, seeing all the chaos in the environment I grew up around, all the school system, all that stuff going on. Like I said, I realized how God was always interjected, I guess, into that in somehow, even though I didn't fully believe that kind of thing at all. But like I said, I had to get to a point in my life where I was knowing that I wasn't unhappy. Prayed to God. It was actually this month, January, it was back in 2018, actually. I don't know, it may have been this day. I have no idea what day it was, but I know it was the last half of the month. I was praying to God, crying in bed one night, just unhappy, saying that I needed my life to change. I needed something to happen in my life to, of course, create some kind of change within me. I guess I put it that way. And best believe that a whole damn next year, I put it that way, I started getting people coming into my life, actually like the next few days, few weeks, I guess I put it that way, after I made that prayer. And that was the first time that I honestly prayed, like I said, prayed to God, saying that I believe you, God, I'm surrendering, all those kind of things. Like I said, that was the first time I had ever done that. And like I said, after that, I started seeing a whole lot of changes in my own life. And I was like, oh my God, I asked for this, and here it goes. I guess I put it that way. I know some folks call it manifestation, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, that was definitely something that I had to face. That truth that I had to tell myself, that I was not happy in the relationship that I was in with the partner I had been in with 7.5 years at that time, that I was not happy. I had to make sure, of course, like I said, to tell myself the truth that I wasn't happy in the jobs that I was in. I guess I put it that way, in the business that I had as well. Of course, I was happy doing, I love creating and all those kind of things. But of course, the business, for some reason, something was missing to me. And it was not making me happy, because I closed my business that year as well. I started another one, of course. I'm doing coaching, that kind of thing. But of course, like I said, I closed it back then. I closed a business back then. But like I said, definitely, it's just, you have to, at some point, like I said, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And like I said, once I prayed about it, that kind of thing, like I said, that next few days, changes started to happen. Changes that I was scared as hell to, of course, have happened. I put it that way. I had to face, of course, my partner, and I'll be talking about that tonight in my taboo conversations inside my group, Speak Your Truth community. So if you're not in that group, like I said, make sure that you're joining. But I'll be talking about that tonight, actually, how I had to, of course, move on from that relationship and all the fears and all the things that I had to go through. And of course, in order to, of course, well, actually, it was just happening. I put it that way anyway. I didn't really force anything to happen. Had to have the conversation. That was the hardest thing. But having the conversation with yourself is always the hardest part. Not just having it with somebody else. Yes, that's hard as well. But like I said, telling yourself all those truths that you honestly is not happy where you are in your life. Like I said, you have to realize, I guess, if you're happy, then that's fine and dandy. But I'm talking to those folks who, of course, who know that they're not satisfied with their current life, that they see stuff going on that they don't like within themselves. Just keep in mind that there's always room for growth. There's always room for change. I know back in the day, of course, I knew there was always ways to change and that kind of thing, but had no idea how. Now I know how, of course, going through all the processes myself. But like I said, at some point, we have to realize that it's never too late to change. I was 40 years old. Am I 44? So I guess I was about 40, going on 41 years old. I guess 40 years old when all those changes again started happening. People call it an awakening, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, that was definitely awakening in my eyes, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Spiritually, physically, mentally, and of course, emotionally as well. Like I said, those are the areas that we have to look at when we're telling ourselves, though, these hard truths and want to, of course, work on ourselves and try to move forward in our own path. So I'm trying to make sure I got everything that I want to say. So I just want to thank you. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get this video ended, y'all. But I just want to make sure I say a few more things first. So thank you again, Jackie, Rebecca, Stella, Anne-Marie, and Jerome. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope that everybody's doing well. And for those that catch the replay, do enjoy. But like I said, again, make sure that when you're thinking about all your goals, thinking about all your resolutions, please just don't stop here, y'all. I know this is the first month of the new year, and it's about to end starting tomorrow. It's going to be February 1st. I know that. And like I said, I know a lot of folks, of course, I can't say you all on this video, but a lot of folks in this world, according to statistics, all their goals and their resolutions end today. I guess I put it that way. But I'm just here to tell you that if you want to see long-lasting change within your life, you have to keep your own dream alive. keep alive the vision that you see, keep alive the mission that you're on, and keep alive the passions and the creativity that you're wanting to, of course, bring into your life as well. Just don't stop here, because it's January the 31st, 2021. Carry this on into next month, to February, and to March, and to April, and I guess all the months to follow. Like I said, you deserve it yourself to, of course, be happy within your own life. That was something I had to realize as well. I knew there was always happiness, of course, on some aspect I was happy, of course, laughing, smiling, all those kind of things, but deep down, there was a lot of things that I hadn't fully dealt with, I guess I put it that way, that I knew I needed to work on. I knew I needed to, of course, bring forth and bring to light, so that I can be happier in my life, I guess I put it that way, and to be more whole and to feel more free. So I'm just here to tell you all that right now, as of today, I guess I put it that way, I can tell you all that, of course, going on your own personal development journey, going down your own journey about as forgiveness, as far as healing, unpacking all your baggage, all those kind of things, you will never feel freedom until you have done that. I guess I put it that way. Yes, we live in a country, you say you're free, all these things, but like I said, I know I used to say the same thing, but once I got on the journey to, of course, start working on myself, fixing myself, I guess the things that I thought was broken, and the things that were constantly in my head all day that was bothering me, that was bringing me resentment, that was bringing me hate, that was bringing me anger, all those kind of things. Once I started working on those things, I have never felt as free, I guess, as I've ever been. I guess I put it that way. Free and happy, I guess I put it that way. So I'm just here to tell you that there's life on the other side. Like I said, just don't stop today, because it's the 31st of January. Please keep on going. Like I said, I just hope that this encourages somebody that was maybe thinking about giving up today, I guess I put it that way, or giving up, not working on their dreams anymore, going into next month, that kind of thing, or just that's giving up on life. Like I said, there's always, I know people say the grass isn't greener on the other side, but when you're talking about yourself and telling yourself the hard truths, and working through all your baggage and whatever else you have, that's going to, of course, create some freedom and some peace and some happiness in your life, the grass is definitely greener on the other side. I'm just here to tell you that. So I know people, you always say the grass isn't greener over here, over there. If you're working on yourself and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and like I said, taking those small actions to, of course, get to your big goals, your big resolutions, whatever you have set for yourself, like I said, the grass will be greener for you on the other side. Once you push past all those fears, because there's going to be a lot of fears that's coming up, like I said, you'll definitely see some greener grass on the other side. And just keep in mind that I don't care if you're my age, you're 44, if you're 25, if you're 65, if you're 89 years old, there's always, like I said, it's never too late to, of course, restart your life. I know folks say when you're, because I said the same thing, I'm like, oh my God, my life is so changed and I don't know what to do, and those kind of things back then. I have to start all over. Just keep in mind, you don't have to start all over anything. You're just starting from where you're at, moving forward. You're not starting your whole life as an infant at 44 years old to move forward and to relearn the whole entire world. No, you're not. I know some people make it sound that way, but you're not starting over an entire life at all. You're just starting over and, I guess, moving forward from the point that you're at. So like I said, if you're 20 years old, you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old, you're 70 years old, you're 80 years old. And once you, of course, are rebuilding your life and, of course, like I said, moving forward with some of the new ways, some of the new behaviors, some of the new things, some of the new boundaries, some of the new non-negotiables that you have within yourself, like I said, you're not starting over. You're just starting from where you're at to move forward into the new you, I guess I put it that way. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here. I want to say thank you to all who tuned in. I just hope that you all are doing well. And I hope, like I said, that one person is at least touched by this video to hear that it's not too late for you to, of course, start working on yourself in order to make yourself happy, to, of course, bring your own inner peace and your own inner love. Like I said, it's never too late for that. So keep that in mind, y'all. And as we go throughout this day and for the rest of this week. So with that, everybody take care. For those who watch the replay, definitely enjoy. Love you all. Take care.